So, if I told you that this is a picture showing the place that I'm closest to God, would you call me crazy? I wouldn't blame you because although there is no a priest in a wetsuit, crucifix floating by, scripture in the clouds, or church in the distance, I still, whenever I look at a picture of this beach, I still feel a very spiritual connection deep down in my heart. This is a picture of the westward side of Zuma Beach during a very large morning swell. And it's something I always wish for, but it's not always a reality. And if you didn't know, Zuma Beach is about 10 minutes away from PCH from where we are right now. And over the last few years, I've spent a lot of my free time in the ocean surfing its waves. And what I've realized is that even though this beach has nothing in common with a church, it is a place that I feel the closest to God. Ever since that tail end of elementary school, I've been pondering the importance of religion in my life and also what spirituality would do for me as an individual, and that's made me have this desire for finding a closeness to God. And over the last, I'd say 10 to 12 years, which is built up. It's been more passionate towards the end of that journey, but I've been on a path trying to find how I could become most close with God. And today I'm going to be describing or giving you that story and showing you the one way that I've found that's fulfilling. So I'll start off with my religious background. As a child, I had a very large Catholic influence. My parents were Catholic, and I would always go to church with them on the weekends or every Sunday. But that all changed when they got divorced, and I no longer went to the classes after Mass learning about Jesus stories and scriptures and stuff like that. So as time went on, and I went to middle school, all my friends began to talk about how CCD was a thing in their life that they didn't really like. It was like a chore almost, and how they had to go to church every Sunday. And I almost felt like my life was more desirable. I didn't have to do any of that. I could sleep in as long as I wanted to on Sunday, and I didn't have to do any extra work for CCD that I had on top of school and sports. And but when it came time for me to get confirmed, or when that time came around for all my peers that were getting confirmed, my dad came to me and talked to me about it, and I was so confused about the whole idea. I was uneducated about it. I didn't understand the importance or the procedure, so I thought he was just trying to get me to do extra work that was unnecessary. So I completely brushed it off to the side, and I just dropped the whole idea of it. But so you can see that through my early childhood, I led a life that steered me away from a very religious life. But these events I'm going to describe in the future, that happened in the future, led me back to learning about Christianity and my spirituality as a whole. And this story first starts when my father unexpectedly had to move to California for a job opportunity my freshman year. And during the divorce, he was the parent that I gravitated towards. So when he left, I felt like I had to follow him. And by the end of first semester sophomore year, I was out in California, and I was about to start school at Chaminade in West Hills, right over the mountain here. And my dad and I didn't anticipate how religious this school was going to be. It's a Marianist Catholic school, and I found myself going to Mass every week and having to take a religious course every semester. So, and even up to today, I've taken a religious course since second semester sophomore year all the way until today, because I took the Old Testament and the New Testament here at Pepperdine. And so I quickly learned about the Catholic religion, the traditions, the teachings, scriptures, morals, and then this education made me want to be able to feel God myself, in my own life. So over the summer of sophomore and junior year, I went out to Young Life Camp with my friends from the East Coast and connected them, and they were all interested in the same thing. And we spent a weekend out of our summers there trying to see if we could connect to God in nature. But after attending twice, I didn't really feel like I was getting what all the leaders were talking about, what they were advertising, so I stopped going. But the one thing I wanted to hold on to was the nature aspect. And I used this nature aspect my senior summer, which was when I stayed back in California and spent a lot more time at Zuma Beach. And here at Zuma Beach, I realized that the ocean was not my safe place. It's not a safe place. I'm amongst God's creatures, and I'm under the rule of the elements, and even though there's amongst all this chaos, like I can still have peace of mind. I can think about my day and get rid of my stress and enjoy God's creation and the beauty of the world. So, although, it was good that I went through all those trials, so that when I finally got into surfing, I was able to become more spiritual. And I've been religion has been a big part of my life so far, and I understand what it means to be a very religious person, and also how easy it is to take a step back from it all. And Christianity has shaped who I am today, but while also teaching me who I don't want to be, and also giving me opinions on a broader worldview when in the times when I wasn't so into the faith. And surfing allowed me to self-actualize my spirituality, because I realized that I can just simply spend time in God's creation to be able to feel His presence in my life. And this always made me think back to a poem that I had studied in my class at my first semester at Chaminade, which was "Some Keep the Sabbath Going to Church" by Emily Dickinson, and it reads, "Some keep the Sabbath going to church, I keep it staying at home, with a bobolink for a chorister and an orchard for a dome. Some keep the Sabbath in surplice, I just wear my wings. And instead of tolling the bell for church, our little sexton sings. God preaches, a noted clergyman, and the sermon is never long. So instead of getting to heaven, at last I'm going all along." And from this, I realized I could apply it to my life, and I realized that to worship God, all you have to do is spend time in His creation. So it's easy for you to look at this and see a generic picture of a surfer, but when I look at it, I see Zuma Beach and the natural temple I found in God's creation. Thank you.